let's talk about Libra and Libra season. The sign of Libra, Venus, Saturn as well. Yeah. We are a few days after the full moon in Aries, and wow, we know that the moon has to do with the pull. My head's kind of warped. The effect that the moon has on our bodies and on water, and even on like the tides, right? So that was really crazy because the day that we had the full moon was the day that we had those major floods in New York City and other parts, areas around. Because I'm sure other areas flooded, maybe not, maybe it was just me here. But yeah, some crazy full moon vibes. And sort of like, I feel like people also pass a lot of times. We'll see like famous people or celebrities in the media who will pass or something. Libra, September 23rd through October 22nd, is that right? I believe the first decan of Libra is ruled by Venus, the second Saturn, and the third Mercury, which is quite interesting. And Libra is ruled by Venus, Aphrodite, and sometimes even Persephone. We know that Libra is about balance, but also about polarities. North Pole, South Pole, heaven, hell, good, bad, pros, cons, those types of things. How you relate. How you gather information and data and communication, and you measure that. You weigh it. That makes me think of the Egyptian goddess Maat, and Anubis. There's an Egyptian connection. I don't really know a lot about Egyptian myths or legends or folklore or any of that. But I know little tidbits here and there just from what I hear other people talk about. Something just fell from the trees. Libra is about peace, balance, justice, fairness, liberty, which would be freedom, which would be movement and mobility, okay? So there's a little bit of changeability there. I mean, Venus is exalted in the most mutable of the mutables, right? Pisces, which is water, which can be very inconsistent, okay, and changeable, and the quality of that sign that Venus is exalted in is also very changeable. Now, where Venus, or when Taurus comes into play, is that still the same planet that is exalted in Pisces, but Taurus is fixed, Earth, and it has to do with tradition and the status quo and society, culture. But that does change over time with I guess, ever evolving collective consciousness, correct? So I feel like all of those signs are associated with those things. And when you are able to find compassion in the energy of Taurus, that creates great change. So Libra as well can be compassionate. Huh, there's a bee. Bees are very much a theme today. That's crazy. I gotta look that up. Speaking of Saturn, bees also create balance. Anyway, everything needs balance, right? Society needs balance. Your diet needs to be balanced. Your lifestyle needs to be balanced. Bridges that you travel across need to be balanced. Foundations, buildings, structures need to be balanced. So many things. The climate needs to stay balanced. You also need to keep your balance, or else you will fall. And Libra ruling the hips and the lower back, right? And the buttocks. The hips guide you and take you forward. And so does your lower back. They help keep you balanced, right? Your feet also, which that would be Pisces for me. Some people would say Saturn, but still, there's an association with Libra, still. Yeah. The lower back takes on a lot of stress, just like the feet do. So there's a connection as well between Pisces and Libra, taking on that stress. The esoteric ruler of Libra, that is Uranus, which is quite interesting because I always talk about the esoteric connections through the cards and the esoteric translations through the cards and that stuff. You know, when something is balanced, there's a sense of weightlessness that is there, much like a scale, or much like a bridge, or much like a tall structure that is just seemingly standing there, balanced, stoic, composed. Those would also be very good words used to describe Libra. Gotta be balanced. The lower back is actually the bridge between the upper body and the lower body. Yes. A lot of people feel a lot of tightness or stress in their lower back. That means you need more abdominal work. Yeah, but Uranus being the esoteric ruler of Libra, that is seen in the Fool card, right? Which is so funny. But 0 being balanced. The letter O, optimistic, right? Also, choices. I have options, right? That type of thing. Free spirit. The liberated mind. You know, liberty, library. Some people would say lies. But I think that that would be an unevolved Libra. I dated a Libra for 2.5 years and they lied a lot. But I still don't think that Libras are necessarily liars. They have the potential to, because wouldn't you, if you have truth and lies, pros and cons, good and bad, you always have the option of choosing the other, you know? So, I believe that an evolved Libra would know their options and then choose the best option, you know? So yeah, Uranus, esoteric ruler of Libra. You never really know when things are going to shift, right? And I don't feel like that's a liar. I feel like maybe that's like more of a liability, where you never really know what to expect. But isn't that how life is? The Fool card. Stepping off the whoa, that type of thing. So things can change at any moment. And I think I said that at 11:11. But yeah, changing your mind. We do that. Just because you got to weigh out your options, you know. Maybe we just take longer to weigh out our options, and we're more vocal about weighing out those options. So then you can measure the time that it took. When a lot of people probably are going back and forth and thinking about something, and then they'll say something about it after they've thought about it. Or maybe they didn't think about it at all. Maybe they just decided, right? Which can get you into a lot of trouble. You can't just be like, pop up, guess who? You know what I mean? So, when you are like that, that's more like Aries. Aries is more like, bam! And you're like, wait a minute, there was no plan. Wait, I didn't expect. And now I have to react to what I didn't expect. And it's probably not the reaction that you thought you were going to get, because maybe you weren't even really thinking about that. Or Gemini, right? Mercury is the esoteric ruler of Aries. Virgo also could be in there, not knowing what to expect. And so can where Mercury is exalted, which is Aquarius. And Uranus, the modern day ruler of Aquarius, is the esoteric ruler of Libra. There are those connections, again, relating. Yeah, the Justice card, number 11, which would be Roman numeral 2, which would then correlate to number 2 major arcana, which would be the High Priestess, which is Pisces, which is where Venus is exalted. And 2 being the second house, Taurus, okay, which is where Venus rules, okay? There's that Taurus, Pisces, Libra connection again, you see. And the moon is connected to the High Priestess card. So then we got Cancer in there a little bit, but Cancer is definitely a part of the Empress. So the Empress is giving you Venus, of course, so that's Libra and Taurus. Then we've got the other 3, which would be 12, which is the Hanged Man, Pisces, where Venus exalts. Then we have the other 3, which is 21, and that's the World, which is talking about time passing and things evolving and manifesting, which definitely has to do with the Empress, right? There's water there. Water is indicative of time, because water has to travel over time. And the cycle of water, you know, things are cyclical. So the cycle of life, natural cycles, natural order of things, you know, which Libra is very much about, letting the natural order of things sort of like take hold or guide us. So then the World card, Saturn, which it is exalted in Libra. Yeah. It's really fascinating. I am a double Libra. Libra Sun and Libra Rising. What else can I say? I don't know. This is just me catching up and chatting with you guys. Libra is opposite Aries, which is, how you see yourself. It's like your ego, right? Your identity. There's like this sort of like carnal edge to it. And that's sort of what you are compelled to do. Basically like your first house. How you are compelled to be. And how you insist on identifying with things. Libra is who everyone else might be, which is why people are like, oh, Libras are people pleasers. Actually, we're just interested, because at the end of the day, we are opposite Aries, and there are some likenesses to us. Or you could be a Libra whose sun is conjunct their ascendant. Yeah. Hope you had a great Aries full moon. It was very eventful, of course, And I hope you have a lovely Libra new moon. Libra is definitely a sign of karmic ties as it relates to the 2s and the 11s and things like that, And if you think of like 2 of Swords, bam, there you go. Moon in Libra. If you see the 2 of Wands, that's Aries, but it's still talking about balancing yourself out, right? And being optimistic about the choices that you can make and create possibilities for yourself, okay? Then we have the 2 of Cups, which is giving us, what is that? Is that Venus in Cancer? Yeah. Venus. And 2 of Pentacles, Jupiter and Capricorn, which is quite interesting. That is having to take the long route. No shortcuts with that 2 of Pentacles. Yeah. It's beautiful out here during Libra season. You never know if you're going to get a cool, crisp autumn day or if you're going to get a pleasant late summer day that is reminiscent of, late September or Virgo energy, which if you were to go backwards in the zodiac, starting with Pisces instead of Aries, going back, you would hit these points, and Libra and Virgo would actually change 6th and 7th positions. Change position, new position. Which would put Libra 6th house, and then it would put Virgo 7th house. But the Lovers card, number 6, Venus, goddess of love, Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, I forgot to talk about the Judgment card. Well, a sudden realization, or having to make a sacrifice, or surrendering to something that is bigger, which would also connect to compassion, right? And we know that the Judgment card is Pluto. Pluto is the esoteric ruler of Pisces, which is where compassion resides. So wow, there you go. But the thing with Libra is that like you can choose to be compassionate or choose to not be. Right. Honey, sharp edges. That's crazy. I definitely wouldn't want to not be compassionate, to not be considerate, you know, because things can get messy, right? And dangerous when you're not compassionate or thoughtful or considerate. So it's really important to be. And it's so funny that judgment card is like, wow, you know, judgment, right? It's like, oh, well, how were you? Were you compassionate? Were you considerate? How were you? Give in to something bigger than you. Pluto is also, you know, co-ruler of Aries, right? Bigger than your ego. That's what the judgment card is saying. This is bigger than your ego, which is just so crazy, right? Because the sun is exalted in Aries, but then it is in its fall in Libra. So it's like, oh, the death of the ego, you know. Which I don't know where that came from. It's like a long blonde hair. Like, what? Oh my goodness, it is getting so warm. And my ice and my coffee is melting behind the phone because I'm using the phone as a tripod right now, which is so crazy. But, you know, resourceful Libra. There's a Saturn influence on me. Don't look at my hair. It's early. Let me show you everything here. I know I didn't say much today, but, you know, I just wanted to check in with you guys. Do a little stroll talk. The squirrel. So funny. There's like a squirrel just kind of like resting, perched on this rock. I know. I'm always sounding off on Dunkin' Donuts. Love-hate relationship. Oh, there you go. There's the polarity again. At 23:32. The bees are everywhere, which is lovely. But I gotta look at that, what that total means. Okay, well, you know, just thought I would check in and say hi. I hope the volume is good because I'm using my headphones, and you know how that is. You know how that can be. Yeah. Happy Libra season. I feel like I'll be checking in again with you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Oh, another thing, Persephone, right? 6 months above, 6 months below. Balance. The reason for the season. So it's almost like you have to have that like light aspect with like the shadow aspect for balance. You see? Otherwise things would just go uncontrollably in one direction, that there would be like no room for diversity, which is kind of scary, you know? So I would say that Libras are very diverse, which is an unexpected thing. Because people love to judge a book by its cover, and Libra rules the aesthetic, so undoubtedly we will be judged by our cover. But that's other people's fault, not ours. All right, well, I guess I will be going now. I have to charge my phone, I'm sure, because it just, the juice goes out so quickly. It's a lovely day, and it's really great to be here and alive. Okay. Thanks, everybody. And also, thanks for the birthday wishes. Keep them coming. It's still Libra season. And just because you maybe didn't get to say it on the day before or after doesn't mean that you can't say it at all.